Listen, she's a beautiful young lady. And there's a lot of beautiful young ladies in the WNBA. But when you do that, you can't come down the line and complain about being objectified later on. It's not going to work with people. Whether it's right or wrong, it's not going to work. And when you do stuff like that and you're drawing attention to yourself because of that, that can be problematic.
Imagine this. It's New Year's Eve. Angel Reese shares a photo that's more about drawing attention than focusing on the game. The internet reacts, and not in a positive way. Stephen A. Smith criticizes her, and before long, Reese's social media goes quiet. But here's the key question. Was it worth it?
Here's the part that I like about the backlash. Clearly, it's something that a lot of people can't take. So if it's something that you can't take, maybe you shouldn't expose yourself to the backlash and provoking the backlash.
From WNBA rebounding leader to a period of social media silence, Angel Reese's journey serves as a cautionary tale for athletes everywhere. But don't worry, we're not just here to dissect it. Stephen A. Smith didn't pull any punches, calling out Reese's attention-grabbing behavior and drawing comparisons to the always professional Caitlin Clark. You won't believe what he had to say about Reese's actions and how it could impact her future in the WNBA. Ready? Let's dive in.
Especially when the comparison is going to be drawn to Caitlin Clark, who isn't doing such things. That might not be fair. I'm not saying it is. And you certainly have the right to dress how you want and to do what you want and to live your life. But people have a right to have their opinions about what you put on display. And if they don't like it and they believe that it's not the right thing for you to be doing when you talk about building your brand, I don't know how you can argue that, Tori.
As the countdown to midnight ticks down, there's Angel Reese in a stunning dress, all set to welcome 2025. But her fans? They weren't exactly thrilled with the spectacle. Reese posted a video on Instagram, likely expecting it to go viral, but instead, it backfired in a major way. The backlash was swift and intense. We're talking comments that would make anyone cringe. Even her most loyal followers were left wondering, what were you thinking? That's when you know you've made a misstep.
My daughters are fully aware. Daddy had better damn well not see an outfit like that on social media. Nah, I ain't judging Angel Reese. Live your life. I'm talking about my daughters.
Right.
I promise you. I better not see that. Hey, they could be in college in LA, in Boston, or anywhere in between. Daddy will drop the mic, hop in the car, on the plane, or wherever. That ain't gonna happen. You said, I'm not having it. That's me.
So what sparked all the drama? Picture Reese in a revealing dress that left little to the imagination, posing and strutting in ways that had everyone doing a double take. This wasn't just another New Year's outfit, it was designed to grab attention, and that's exactly what it did. As the heat started building, Reese's social media went silent, and then, out of nowhere, her Instagram disappeared. Just like that, it was gone.
She deleted her Instagram, and that's the most important part about all of this, because clearly she's uncomfortable with some of the backlash that she's getting because she deleted her Instagram.
Let's be real. This isn't just about a dress. It's about a young athlete who may have just damaged her own image. At 22, Reese is old enough to understand the weight of her actions in the sports world. Now, everyone's asking what's next for her, but before we can even take a breath, Stephen A. Smith jumps in with his perspective. And trust me, you won't want to miss what he has to say about Reese's New Year's stunt.
Let's call it what it is. I am not trying to say that she should be criticized or she is wrong. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong with it.
You know things are getting serious when Stephen A. Smith chimes in, and oh boy, they have some strong words for Angel Reese's New Year's stunt. Smith didn't just offer a comment. He went into full disappointed dad mode. Let's break down his reaction, because it's definitely something you'll want to hear.
Yes, you are 22. Yes, you are young. And there's a lot of things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. Fair enough, especially me, okay? Because I'm 30 plus years removed from that age. I got that part. There was no social media then or whatever. But here's my point to you. She knows this social media. She is not dumb. She's quite a brilliant young lady. She's very smart, very accomplished. And on top of it all, she is in this age where she does know social media exists, and she has exploited it to her advantage. And so when you...
First, Smith called out Reese's hypocrisy. In a snap, he pointed out that you can't later complain about being objectified if you're contributing to it. Ouch, definitely a hard-hitting point. But Smith wasn't done there. He took it up a notch by playing a game of comparison. And who did he highlight as the perfect example of handling your brand? None other than Caitlin Clark. Yep, that Caitlin Clark, the one who's been dominating both on and off the court, all while staying away from any controversy.
Into consideration, that means you're mindful of the imagery and the perception that you're assisting in creating about yourself.
Smith didn't hold back when he said Reese was playing into the very thing she claimed to be against. He made it clear that if you want to be taken seriously in the sports world, especially as a woman, you have to be mindful of the image you project. And by drawing the contrast with Caitlin Clark, Smith made it evident that professionalism and staying out of the spotlight for the wrong reasons are key to maintaining a positive public image.
Here's what I have a problem with, Tori. Angel Reese, in doing the things that she has done, let's face reality. She's going to be attached to Caitlin Clark to some degree. If Angel Reese had never waved her hand in her face when LSU was beating Iowa for in the Final Four of the national championship, if that hadn't happened, Angel Reese's name might not have been.
Talk about a slam dunk of a comparison. Caitlin Clark is out here building an empire, while Reese, well, let's just say her recent moves aren't exactly sending the same message. But here's the real kicker. Smith's criticism goes beyond just that flashy photo. He's digging into Reese's priorities. Is she an athlete, or is she trying to be an influencer? Can she balance both? It's like watching a high-stakes game of identity tug-of-war, and right now, it seems like Reese is on the losing side.
But what's not debatable is the fact that Caitlin Clark has handled her branding extremely well. Whereas with Angel Reese, sometimes you find yourself scratching your head and wondering what the hell she's doing. Like that photo right there.
Smith's guests didn't hold back either, piling on with their own take. They'd argued that Reese is desperate for attention, any kind of attention. It's like she's playing a notice me game while the rest of the sports world is focused on actual performances. Not exactly the best look, right? But here's where it gets real. Smith warned that this could have an impact on Reese's WNBA career. Are teams paying attention? You better believe it. He hit the nail on the head when he pointed out that drawing attention to yourself in ways like this can become a serious problem for an athlete's.
You have to be cognizant that no matter how you step out of your house, you are now Angel Reese. And you will always be picked apart, unfortunately. It comes with the crown. You're a queen. You're beautiful, So you just have to remember that if you aren't ready for the scrutiny, if you're not ready for the heat, then, you just got to be mindful that what comes with it. You have to be mindful with what comes with it.
Let's get real for a moment. In pro sports, your reputation isn't just about what you do on the court. It's also about how you present yourself off it. Right now, Reese's off-court antics are overshadowing her game. The takeaway from Smith? Reese needs to decide what she wants to be known for, her skills on the court or her Instagram persona. It's a tough choice, but it's one she has to make quickly, because in the fast-paced world of professional sports, yesterday's star can become today's cautionary tale faster than you can say, deleted account.
Might have been a right or wrong decision depending on what she feels or what other people feel. I'm just saying that what's inescapable is that even though she's not Caitlin Clark, she's going to be reminded she's not Caitlin Clark with every good thing that Caitlin Clark does, because that was her number one nemesis in a lot of people's eyes. Number two, she was seen doing various interviews and what have you, talking about threats, talking about insults, crying about how people were coming at her with such venom and hostility, particularly in her last year at LSU, before she ultimately got to the pros. She brought up all of these things, which means she was aware of it. And if you're aware of it, you have to understand that that's going to be part of the judgment that comes against you, fair or unfair. That's what I'm saying. Clark, the reason I bring up Caitlin Clark is because they're attached at the hip with one another, which means they're ultimately going to be compared, Tori. And when you look at Caitlin Clark is balling. She's a rookie of the year. She was one of the finalists for the league MVP honors as a rookie, breaking all types of records. She should have been on Team USA. She didn't choose to play in an unrivaled league. Her brand building has been incredibly impressive.
We have to remember one thing. She's not Caitlin Clark. And we can't ask her to be anyone else besides herself, and especially not right here to do that. We want you to be you. We love seeing the great parts of your journey, but we also have to remember she's 22 years old.
We understand that everybody's got their own taste, their own flavor, and certainly their own rights. But there are other people that's going to exercise their rights to be ultra critical about it. And then I'm not even talking about the outfit that Angel Reese has worn. I'm talking about the overall pressure of having to be compared as a brand to somebody who's conducting their branding with near perfection. That's what I'm saying. She's gonna have to deal with that, Tori, whether she likes it or not. The bosses are always watching. Whether directly or indirectly, there's always eyes on you. Okay? And so you could be in a nice dress. You could be on a red carpet. You could be on the beach on vacation or whatever. What you post is what they're paying attention to, because they're trying to measure what your intentions are based off of what they see.
I don't want Adidas. I don't want Nike turning her down because they don't see her as someone that's marketable. Because
neither do I.
You know, and that's the pain that I had for her in this. But I want her to know, if she's listening, we're excited to still see you. Bring back that beautiful Instagram page and just learn. Kids right now are also not able to see 40 years from now. You know, you post that photo, you're not thinking, what's this gonna do to me 40 years from now? You know, think about that. You know, when you post this, what's gonna happen to my sponsorship? And my last thing is, if you're a young member of society today and you have social media and you are big time, just remember that you need to have advisors around you. Paid advisors, as well as people who knew you before your fame.
That's great advice.
Because
that's great advice.
The people right now who are going through this, who are facing these moments, who are thrust into the sight, take a look at your advisors around you. Do they have your best interest? And if you do get pushed back in this way, ask yourself, who were the people around me during that time? And what do they say about this? And keep that in mind, because your reputation, at the end of the day, you have the power over.